This is the last story of the day. It's a bit of a departure. It's a funny story that was making the rounds. I saw it on Twitter. I saw TMZ talking about it. Of course, it's here on Fox. Asteroid could strike Earth day prior to election. And it's funny to me that this just makes the rounds and picks up steam because I read the article, right? I go look at it, and then it's, of course, as you get further down the article, they're like, yeah, this is not a big deal, right? Yeah, there could be this really tiny asteroid that's going to break up once it hits the atmosphere type of thing.
It's just the headline that gets
But
you.
it's the headline, and it gets me thinking about headline analysis and why the world likes this story or clicks this story right now. There is something about the correlation between the upcoming election and an asteroidal impact. It's almost like a subconscious connection.
Yeah,
that's
2020.
Yes, but also that there's a clash, right? An election is a clash. It's two things colliding, and then somehow the idea that it could all be disrupted or that some bigger collision could take place. I don't know. It's just kind of, there's a weird psychology there. Even when I read it, I'm like, people get so worked up about this upcoming election. People are all worked up. I mean, I'm sure you feel it. And our human problems feel so large and impossible to overcome. But at the same time,
It's like, what's that asteroid
there's
up
these
there?
rocks floating around that at any
Why is it
time
coming
could
towards
collide
us?
with Earth and completely end and evaporate all those what would eventually seem minuscule human problems. Like, it's this weird contrast between our tunnel vision when it comes to the self-centeredness of the human being and the human being, the human experience, let's say, and then the contrast against space and how and rocks and how little they probably care. Well, they don't care at all, do they?
No.
They just float.
Yeah.
So anyway, to be clear, I am not to scare anyone here. I got to give you the actual details.
Okay, let's hear it.
It may buzz cut Earth on November 2nd. The buzz cut. Love that.
What does that mean?
But then, by the way, Neil deGrasse Tyson was the one who was letting everybody know about it. He added that the flying object is nothing to lose sleep over. It's not big enough to cause harm. So if the world ends in 2020, it won't be the fault of the universe. There's his take on it, saying us little humans actually have the potential to cause bigger problems at the moment than those rocks, which are, thank goodness, floating elsewhere for the time being. It currently has a 0.41% chance of entering our planet's atmosphere. And if it did, it would likely disintegrate due to its extremely small size. So you have that piece at the end of the article, and yet the article still persists and shows up in my feed from multiple sources. And so I think there's some weird psychological connection to where the status of our minds are in the social media age, in the age of 2020, in the age of catastrophe where anything is possible and collisions are expected.